accidentally started streaming instead of recording. Okay.
McCree's fun. May I absolutely have no idea how to play her.
Okay. So, so you're relatively new to the game?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you have previous like PC FPS experience? Like you play any CS:GO, anything along those lines?
I played lots of CSGO. I was back before the nerfed all the ranks of everybody, so that was a couple of years ago.
All right.
Made it up to Nova Master, I think, which is 4 stars. And then I basically stopped playing for a while.
All
Then I
right.
got myself an Xbox.
So, how often would you say that you play?
Overwatch?
Yeah, Overwatch.
24/7, I'm always on the
24/7.
screen.
Okay. So you got it recently, but you're playing it all the time now.
Yeah. Because I'm new to PC. I
Uh-huh.
just built my PC. I had one before, but that was
All right.
back
Well
when I was
then,
in high school.
yeah, we'll probably have a lot of basics to cover then. So just prepare for that. I'm probably gonna be going to. I'm probably gonna screen share Trading Range quite a bit just to demonstrate different things.
Okay. So should I go back on Discord
Uh, what do you mean go back on Discord?
for screen sharing?
Oh yeah, if you only have one monitor, then I'll like after your like whatever, I'll either tell you to leave the game, or if it just started, or after the game's done, then you can just go back over to Discord and I'll screen share it for you so that you can, because I'll do it when I need kind of the visual, rather than just articulating it, which can be a little bit difficult sometimes.
Yeah. Or else I recently started playing Reaper. He's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah, so you're mainly playing DPS.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, alright.
I used to be a support main. Like back on Xbox.
Alright, how long did you play on Xbox Overwatch?
Oh boy, I started maybe beginning of last summer. Not last summer, but the summer that just finished. Was that
Alright.
last summer? Hmm.
So you've been playing for like 5-ish months? Question mark?
Yeah.
Alright. And now this is the awkward bit where we kind of sit here until your game starts. Do you have any questions that you came into this like wanting to ask either about like the game in general, specific heroes, um, or just any other general questions?
How do we counter May? I'm really having a hard time against May.
So May doesn't really. So there's in the game, there's not. I wouldn't say that there's really a direct counter to May. Um, like there's a lot of heroes that are like that. They aren't countered by someone in specific. Um, so with May, there's play styles that you can do to counteract her, but I wouldn't say that there's a character to pick, um, to stop May. It's May, if that makes sense.
Hmm. I'm guessing McCree if I can flashbang and then fan her.
Yeah, there's also like having good positioning and playing at a longer range so that you're not getting frozen. Um, making sure that you're not panicking and rushing your shots when she's freezing you. There's different ways to play, and if we go up against a May, then I can kind of walk you through that.
Ooh, found a game.
Okay, spectating.
Welcome to Blizzard World. Prepare your defenses. Select your hero.
Only through conflict do we evolve.
Ah, so you already know the side turns, bounces.
Bounces, I'm having a hard time. Like example, to find an object bounce off.
I was just talking about the kind of more the basic, just bouncing after your jump for mobility. Most silver players won't really know that.
Oh, like the turn punches?
Turn punches, but then also just like, like just jumping at the end of your punch and to give yourself more range with it.
5,
Okay, yeah. That part I know.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
The battle commences.
So there you tunnel visioned on someone, and then that puts you in a bad position. You don't kind of want to be staring in one area, which will cause you to not focus on everyone else, and then that means you'll die to other people.
Okay, so I need to stay aware of everything.
Yeah, you want to stay aware rather than just go solely looking at the ball. Okay, so there what you did was you fully synced your kit, which is going to be when you use all 3 of your abilities at once. And when you don't want to do that is when you're in the middle of enemies, because then you don't have abilities to get away. So what you want to be doing is combos, so you always want to have one ability to get out. So I can demonstrate them afterwards, but it's going to be, your basic is going to be punch in, uppercut, slam back to your team. And then that way you're using your abilities to get in and out. If you're dying less, then you're getting more value overall. Because you're alive to kill more things.
Smarter. So if I stay high ground, it's better, I guess, for fast slams.
Yes, but not if you're really far away.
No chance.
Oh, yeah, very nice.
Have no idea. Rising uppercut. Okay, so there you had punch up. You should have punched out when you weren't making it. A lot right there when you uppercutted him, you weren't really setting your crosshair on him to get off the shots immediately. Basically with your crosshair, you want to be putting it where you know people are going to be. So that's going to be head level for just regular headshots. And then when you know you're uppercutting people, they're going to be up in the air. So you have to be looking up.
Oh boy.
Team kill. The payload has reached.
Alright. I think go ahead and leave this game just so we have the basic mechanics all the way. I'm gonna demonstrate some things. Yeah, I'm streaming on Discord whenever you're ready. Let me know.
Yeah, Discord.
Alright. Let me know when you're there.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, so with Doomfist, you're gonna basically, like I said before, you don't want to be syncing your kit, so you don't want to use all 3 abilities. So what instead you're gonna do is you're gonna use ability rotations, and there are 3 different ones for this. Your basic, most standard one is gonna be the punch, uppercut, slam back to your team. This can either be executed from a high ground or just standing behind like your tanks. So for example, this would be like that, uppercut, slam back to our team. If you don't finish someone off, let's say because they're like a tank or something, you can add in some shots in the middle of your uppercut, so we can punch, uppercut, shoot, get back. And so you saw there, I shot him while I was still in the uppercut animation, then I got back to my team. So you can add in shots to that if they don't die. So Then after that, that's gonna be one that you're probably gonna want to use that one like 70% of the time, because you have the one-shot potential. It's also much faster than slamming is, and you have much more range with it. Slamming, when you want to slam, so the next one's gonna be slam, uppercut, or slam, shoot, uppercut, shoot, punch out. So slam, shoot, shoot, punch out. And then
And if I do that, do I need to go for headshots, example on DPS and support?
yeah, so most of the time you're gonna want to be aiming for headshots because the game's about optimization, and the most optimized way that you can output damage is with headshots, even if it's harder to accomplish. If you practice that, then eventually you're gonna be hitting more headshots. So when I do this, I go for the headshots when I do that. So headshots are the things that you want to be looking for.
The practice range a good place to practice that?
I'd probably say not. If you want to practice or warm up for the day, I'd recommend free-for-all. And you can even free-for-all while in queues now for like competitive or quick play or something like that. And the reason why, yeah, so the reason why FFA deathmatch is so good is because it allows, it basically, it's no objectives and there's no teammates, so you don't have to worry about anything but your mechanics. So it's the best place to practice your mechanics because you just have to worry about winning your duels. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so when you want to be using slam over punch is around corners. So because it's slower if I do this and slide around the corner, I might instead want to do this if they're right here, if I know that they're really close. Maybe I'll do it here. I'll wait for this spot to come closer. So I'm doing it around the corner. Like that. So you can do that around the corner with slam. So you can also slam if there's a big chunk of people. So let's say an Orisa pulls them all together, or they're all grouped up in a corner. That could be a good time to slam because you're going to get all of the shields and shield health from that, as well as big group damage that will up your ult charge. So that'll do a lot of damage to a lot of people. So that's also going to be really good. Besides that, slam's not going to be used all the time. Probably want to be punching most often. Another nicher one that you can be using is if targets are two-way to punch or slam. So that person all the way over there is too far away for me to punch or slam here. I'm gonna do my punch jump cancel, so you know how you get the extra distance. But we're gonna do that into a shoot uppercut shoot. So we're gonna wait for them to come back a little bit. Like that, and then you get extra. That's when I can't get to them with my regular range. Alright, so my next thing, I probably have like one more to show you, is how to get a targeted slam rather than a slow slam. So you can see here, if I'm standing on the edge here, I actually can't see where I'm slamming, and then it does it slowly like this. How to counteract to that is going to be by jumping off before you slam, and then you'll see that it actually shows up now. So if you jump off a ledge before you slam, you can't do it while midair, you can't do it like when you're just standing on the ground, but you can do it if you jump off things. So if I'm jumping off this, I can now target it.
I was looking for a challenge.
Is it only when we jump, or even if we fall down?
It can be while you're falling. It just has to be greater than just the regular jump. Like, look, I can't see the target when I'm just regular jumping, but if I jump off this, then it shows up.
Okay.
You can also like jump off an edge to do this. So if I want to get to them fast, like that. So I'm jumping off the edge to get the fast slam. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Just the most of the time I'm going to want to see the punch, uppercut, slam back to your team, and then you should be good if you're just spamming that out.
So even if I don't have a kill, I need to go back to my team?
Yes, because otherwise, so if we're going... So if we're going 1-for-1, so we're killing somebody, but they're killing us because we used all of our abilities, then we basically lose our carrying potential. So by doing that, you can no longer kill anything else, therefore you have no impact, so you're relying on your teammates, and that's not something you want to do if you're trying to win the game.
History will forget
You don't want to have to rely on your teammates, because if you're relying on silvers, then you're never going to make it out of silver. So your goal should be, even if you don't get a pick, to be getting out, because if you get out, then you can immediately go in after 6 seconds, because all of your cooldowns are 6 seconds. So you can do this in 6 seconds, go back in, 6 seconds, go back in, 6 seconds. Whereas if you die, that's 20 seconds. So in that time that you died and running back from spawn, you could have gotten 3 punch, uppercut, slam outs in, which is a potential of like 2 kills, 3 kills. So by living, you're upping your value. If you're going in, then you're just trading 1 for 1, which makes it a 5v5, and you're relying on silver players.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, besides that, I haven't seen you ult yet, but when you ult, most of the time you want to use all of your abilities. This is the time you can sync your kit, because while you're ulting, you can wait for them to come back. And then we're going to go down, and then we have all of our abilities again, so we're using it as a dual mag. So most of the time you ult, you're going to want to do that.
So when I ult, I wait for my cooldowns to come down.
Yeah, but also you go in before you go in aggressively before you ult, because it's one saves you, and it also baits out abilities. So Orisa's using gold, supports are using their cooldowns. What are you saying?
Immortality feel, I guess?
Yeah, immortality. They're all using cooldowns that will get baited out ahead of time. Whereas if you just use your ult right off the bat, then and it also disrupts them. That's the other thing. So then they have all of those same abilities to use for your ultimate. All right, so you can probably hop into another queue.
So deathmatch?
You don't have to do deathmatch right now. I mean, like I can't. If you're doing it while in queue, I can't spectate it.
Okay. I'm going to wait then.
Alright, so I guess while we have that ridiculously long queue again, you have any questions about anything related to that, or anything we've talked about? Or sorry, I said the same thing twice. Anything we've talked about, or just anything in general again?
Should I prioritize high ground?
Yes, so in situations, so high ground is very good, but there are times that you will want to leave high ground. So high ground is very good because it allows you to control your engagement. Half of the characters in the game can't really damage you on the high ground. Like Reinhardt, he can't get up high ground unless he uses abilities. A lot of people have to expend abilities. If a Tracer's gonna come get you, she has to use her blinks to get up. It requires people to use things to get up to you, and you can so you stay alive longer. And it also allows you to control your like when you go in, your line of sight, so that people aren't shooting you. It just ups your survivability by a whole lot, while also providing different angles to come on the enemy from. But if the high ground is too far away from the fight to where you're not going to get value from it, because you have to remember that you're still a brawly. If you're playing Doomfist or even Tracer and Genji, you're closer ranged characters, close to mid range, and you're not gonna get value sitting really far away from the fight. So you have to remember that to still be close enough to actually get value.
And are there any heroes that I shouldn't like engage to?
Shouldn't engage to, so like you shouldn't go in on.
Yeah.
Probably. Probably not if you're finishing, like if you're playing in a normal fight, someone's low, and you're chasing them down on any of the 3 heroes that we're talking about, Doomfist, Tracer, Genji. Like they all play kind of the same play style. They all play opportunistic, so you're going in and finishing off kills, like on whatever's low, on whatever you can find, who's isolated, things like that. So in that situation, it doesn't really matter who you're going in on, but there are times that you won't want to take duels. So dueling being like
I'm spectating you, by the way. Dueling being like someone's off on their own and it's just you on the other person in 1v1.
Select your hero.
In that situation, there will be characters that will be better than you and you don't want to take the duel. So that's being smart about your duels and not taking unfavorable duels. So you don't want to take duels where you know that you're at a disadvantage, where you could just stay with your team and do more, get more value.
So I must go against weaker targets.
Yeah. So you want to go either against like the same character strength or like weaker than you. So that'd be like if it's a sports off by
Attack
themselves,
commencing
then you
in
go on
30
them.
seconds.
If like another Doomfist off by themselves, then you can go on them. If like Hans or anything like that. But if let's say it's a Reaper, you might have a really hard time, or Roadhog, like you might have a really hard time killing those two because they will melt you really fast, and it's hard for you to kill them with their healing and other abilities. Or Tracer also is a good example. Tracers can blink around your abilities and make it really hard for you to actually kill her.
1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
Take a deep breath. Now, let's achieve our objectives.
Get behind!
I've sighted the enemy.
I'm gonna go with Roadhog. Nope.
This will heal you. This will only hurt him.
Everyone get on the objective.
Alright, so there, I think it was just, the main thing was your target priority. When you know that Orisa has gold, you should be looking for someone else to go on. You can even cancel your, when you know that she just used gold, you can't even punch her. So what you do is you just cancel your punch, and then you look for someone else to go on.
Okay. So Orisa Gold is a no-go.
Yeah, because it just stops your punch and you won't be able to do anything. So you just put yourself in danger for no value. Okay, very nice. So watch kill feed because it'll let you know, it'll give you information and let you know who's winning the fight, who's losing the fight, who's up or down people. And right now you have 3 kills. So if you're paying attention to that in the kill feed, which is top right, then you can be more aggressive because when you have picks and they are down people, that means that they have less people to damage you and you die slower. So when you die slower, you can therefore be more aggressive. And because
my ult.
yeah, there if you used your ult, then you would have lived, because it just brings you up and you can't be damaged. So you want to be using your ult in situations like that. There's no reason to hold on to it.
I cast this
Objective A captured. Escort.
Should I go for flanks with
Like
Doom?
how that feels.
I wouldn't say very often. You can go for flanks, but you don't want to make a habit out of it. And most of the time you want to do soft flanks, so you want to go on off angles, and areas. Very nice. You want to go like kind of soft flanks, so like around the corner rather than across the whole map.
Heroes never die.
Oh, there you synced your kit. Better players, so you didn't get punished there for it, but just because you don't, a mistake doesn't get punished doesn't mean it's not a mistake. Better players would have killed you faster, so there you put yourself out in the open with no abilities. You don't want to be doing that. Very
So
good
I
kit.
always want to come out, except
Yep.
when I can't survive.
Yep. So you can also, when the other times you can sync your kit are when you're cleaning up fights. So when you're winning the fight and you're going in aggressively, you can also do it on isolated targets. So if you're dueling someone or if someone's by themselves, then you can use all your abilities. You can also use all of your abilities if you have good cover to get behind. So like if you're right next to your teammates with a shield, or you're right next to other cover, then you can use your abilities.
Let me get you patched up.
So if you see that you miss the slam, then don't go for the uppercut because then you're just wasting an ability.
Okay, so if I miss my slam, I just punch out.
Yeah. Because you might need your uppercut for a different, like uppercut. What that does is it'll actually put you in more danger of dying because when you're up in the air, it's easier to shoot you because you don't have less mobility than when you're on the ground.
The payload has
And especially at higher ranks, people will punish that more. And you always want to play as if you're at higher ranks because then you're gonna be overall be playing better.
Winners stay.
Okay, after this game, I think we might possibly go over positioning.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with positioning.
Stay down.
So a lot of times,
I like.
you seem to be playing very passive when you have full health and you have all of your abilities up. If they're within range of your abilities, then you go in. Otherwise, you move into a position where you can go in. There shouldn't be, unless your whole team's dead, there shouldn't really be a time that you're not attempting to go in and put damage in.
Oh, like this Reaper here. Oh no, that BAP right there.
Yeah, like when you have picks here, this is where you can be aggressive. And even if you don't have picks, Doomfist, when he goes in, he gets shields. When you're outputting damage, then you get shields. There, you were kind of playing very passive and on the high ground, and you weren't really doing anything, and that's what caused you to die.
the payload
Oh,
is approaching.
you see? Are you good?
My connection just stopped. I'm frozen. Ah, wow. Oh boy. It's gonna join back in a bit, okay? I guess.
My work is not done.
Oh, I'm back.
So yeah, it's kind of like, think of it as like you're just spamming your build, like you're doing the rotation. So you go in, you come back, you get healed up, and then you go back in immediately.
So I gotta do it almost non-stop when my team's there.
Basically non-stop when your team's there, exactly. There are gonna be situations where you don't do it, but then that'll come with it'll come with the learning experiencing curve. But right now, I'm just noticing that the main thing is you're being too passive. So maybe like 40% more.
I should have punched him. No, I should have shot him.
Yes, because you remember right now you have to pay attention to when you have your ult because you can change your playstyle because you know that you can get out.
Flattened.
So you can play much more aggressively knowing that you have a get out of jail free card.
Heroes never die.
Victory.
Alright. Good game. Only thing to say, I guess, is you only used your ultimate once, which probably means that you're holding on to it a little too long. Because there's, like, basically, every time that you're, like, 80 on your ult, you should be thinking, how am I going to use my ult once I get it? So that you're not holding on to it for 3 fights in a row. And then that way, you maybe get 1 or 2 more ults in that time, which will get more value.
Okay, so I need to think about my ult more.
Yeah, because if you're using your ult more, then you're getting more ults, which will win more fights, which will win more games. It'll get you more kills, win more fights, win more games, which just comes from getting your ult more. All right, I'm gonna go over positioning real quick. Because of your DPS queue, you
I start my queue?
Yeah, you can probably just start your queue while I'm talking about this.
Okay.
That way we can get 1 more game in, or maybe 2. Alright, so
Only through conflict.
let me know when you're there.
Evolve.
Yeah, I started my. Oh, okay, on Discord.
Yep.
Okay, I'm there.
Alright, so
general positioning. This is just positioning that works for like any character in the game, and how you will stay alive longer is using cover. So where I'm standing right now is bad positioning, because if this is a sniper, a Kree, a DPS, or 6 players on the enemy team and they're all shooting at me, if I'm standing right here, it takes me 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds to get behind this corner. Unless I use my abilities, but then I'm using abilities, which then means that I can't use those abilities for other things. Whereas if we're standing right here, and then in that time, you're probably dead. Whereas if I'm standing right here, I have the same line of sight on them, and I can see them just as good from right here, but I can duck behind cover within half a second. So you want to be using cover so that you're taking less damage. So in between your punches, you're going like this, you're waiting, you have your abilities back, you're going in, and then you're getting back to your team, and then you're immediately looking for cover, and you're using cover while dodging out, and like between your abilities and shots. The other thing with this is don't rely on shields an incredible amount, especially now that shields are actually breakable in this new meta. Shields will go down and shields will move. So Orisa might move her shield, or it might break instantly. Sig might take down a shield. So if you're standing here because you have a shield, well, that shield's gonna disappear, and then you're gonna get instantly melted because you're in a bad position. So shields don't make up for bad positioning. So don't rely on shields just because you have bad positioning. You don't, of course, if you're hard engaging, so your whole team's pushing in aggressively, you don't need to be sitting back here behind cover. You want to be pushing in with them. But this sitting here behind cover is when you're 1, trying to get health, 2, trying to recharge your abilities, or 3, you're just waiting for the fight to actually start.
Okay. So when I come back, for example, after I disengage, I need to look for natural cover?
Yep, natural cover. You can't... Basically, you look for shields immediately if there are shields, because usually shields will be closer than any natural cover. But if possible, natural cover is also the second best option. Shield, but you don't want to rely on shields to where you're never standing behind cover. But then also you have to remember that cover's not, so like cover is walls, corners, corridors, like just anything. But then it also could be things like this. So you're using this as cover, you're using this as cover, so like you're dodging out shots. Like in this time, they can't see, like that bot can't see me, and like that means they can't shoot at me. So in that time, I'm recharging my abilities, and then immediately going in after I get my abilities back. Or I'm waiting for my supports to heal me, because I'm low health. But you just want to be using cover so that you're not dying instantly.
Okay.
A lot of the time I'm seeing like, okay, I punch in, I uppercut, and then I slam back, and I'm just standing on top of cart. Which is going to mean that you're just spamming your left click while they have much longer range than you, and they're going to be killing you a lot faster than you can kill them at this range. So when you get back from this, so you punch in, oh, I jumped off his head. And then I come back, and then I'm getting behind cover, waiting for my abilities to come back, and then going back in.
Oh, okay.
Alright, I'm pretty much
I think
done.
I just found a map.
Oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
I just found a game.
Okay.
Busan, I like Busan.
Now the question is, did I jump off his head or the railing?
I'm pretty sure that was his head.
Trying to see, because I'm pretty sure you can't jump off people's heads. You can jump off people? I didn't even know that was a thing. Sorry, I'm confused right now. I have a lot of... I was a Doomfist main, and I did not know you could jump off people. What the heck?
Does it work with teammates?
No, because teammates, you go through teammates, but enemies, look, I doubt I could do it, because look, you just walk through teammates, but with enemies, you can't walk through them. And you can also stand on top of them. Oh, I just punched him off the edge. You can stand on top of them as well, but I didn't know you could bounce off of them. That's strange. So I can actually get up to this. Wait a second. Look, I can't get up here like this, but if I add a jump, actually I have to get my ability back. Sorry, I'll come in a second. I am coming.
Okay, spectating.
Now traveling to Busan.
Oh, that was a slow slam. A slow slam.
Slow slams aren't always bad because slow slams get you more damage, but you have to kind of evaluate the situation and think to yourself, can I afford to go for the slow slam?
Hello there.
Greetings.
My will made real.
As though I needed the help.
Here's a better positioning. Oh, this one's nice.
My will.
Very nice. That's very good. But instead of doing that in the middle of the fight, you probably want to do that before the fight happens so that you're not out of the fight for like 5 seconds, which means that they can put more damage in while they're not being pressured.
Did someone call for it?
Thanks.
It was only to be expected.
Oh, they have Mei now.
Get into position.
So Mei shouldn't be a problem for you as long as you're not fully syncing your kits and you're getting out. So right there, you have the mobility to get over to him, and I'd say you probably want to do that as soon as you hear it, because then you can kill him before he gets out of his tire while he's AFK. So you can punch over, uppercut up to him, or maybe even uppercut slam, and then kill him while he's AFK. Don't be afraid to go long distances because you have the abilities to do it. Especially when it's on like one person. So like there, yeah, like you see you get all the way over to the McCree. And it's a 1v1 now, and you have your ultimate. So it's not, that's not something you don't want to do as long as it's not like 6 people grouped up. Also, I'd say probably that high ground is an example of where it's really far away and you're not going to be able to do a whole lot from there on Doomfist.
Where I was at the end?
Yeah, so standing on that high ground with a mini health pack on it means that you're really far out of the fight unless they come left side, which most teams are going to go right side. So that's fine. That spot's fine if if they're on point or if they're on the left, but otherwise you probably just want to hold top right.
No, I saw they had a widow, so I need to be careful.
Yep. Oh. There, that's like gonna be an awareness thing, so you need to be looking out for that and listening out for his footsteps. You can hear him shooting, you can hear his footsteps. Just listen for that so that he's not getting the jump on you, you're getting the jump on him.
Oh shit. Nope.
A lot of the time you're slamming in, and that's like I said before, you probably are gonna want to go for the punch in most of the time. In a another situation where you don't want to go for the punch is if they're not near walls.
The battle goes
Then
on.
slamming is also good.
The battle continues.
Understood. Allow me to repair the damage.
If possible, try to avoid counter-charging Orion or counter-punching Orion because he has more health, so he wins that engagement. If you both go down, you're more likely to die. Unless he's inside of your team. Fully charge your punches more so that you're actually getting that one shot. And they'll actually hit walls. If you don't fully charge them, they won't move very far.
What happened there?
Ryan charged you. Don't. I'd probably say do that faster
because you kind of stared at him for a couple seconds, and then that's gonna
Yeah, I
be,
wasn't sure if he was gonna turn around. That's
and
kind of
then
awkward though. He just walked there.
yeah, I mean, if you do that faster, then that means that you can get back to the fight 4 seconds faster, and that also means probably if you kill him faster there, then you can see and move away from the Reinhardt, which means that you're alive. So if you get that kill off faster, then you're gonna be getting a lot more value and staying alive as well.
Oh, yeah! I have found the enemy! Come and face me!
Огонь по готовности.
Ah, shit.
Gravity kill the Mahal.
All right, that's unfortunate. Not a lot you can do from grab, like when you're in a grab.
Can I meteor strike out of grab?
No, you can't.
I've been knocked down.
You can't use any of your abilities, so it's like getting hacked. So most of your deaths, like 75% of your deaths, you can learn from. You can go, okay, how did I die? Why did I die? Could I have done something better? But then the 25%, of course, like that grab, you can't really do much besides not get grabbed. So when you do have deaths that you can learn from, think about, okay, was I positioned poorly? Was I standing too far away from my team? Was I standing too close to them? Did I use my abilities wrong? Did I fully sync my kit, or did I not use enough abilities? Did I have my ultimate up? Think about things like that. And then overall, you'll be improving because you'll be learning, and you'll be using your abilities better and positioning better.
Oh wow, I walked right into that.
Rebuild you.
I'm feeding.
By the way, my random friend says hi.
Oh, tell him hi from me.
Stay down.
Kill the Mahal.
Meteor strike. No escape.
So in that situation, you knew ball was stalling point, and they have 99, so you have maybe like 10 seconds to go and look for a health pack. I'd say go look for health packs so that you can come back in with full health, because you went in when you're at 60 health, and then that meant that you instantly died.
Огонь по готовности.
Round 2.
Rains from above.
So I need to know where all the health packs are,
Score
I guess.
1.
Yeah, map awareness is going to be really important, but that comes with time, just playing the game. I'd say, like, most health packs are gonna be kind of common sense of where they're at. Like, they're gonna be on the sides of the map, not really just in the main thing. So if you need healing, just run to the side of the map. That's the point.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 3. Capture the objective.
Hello.
Hello.
Ah, shit.
Probably don't want to try to slam a Pharah, because slamming isn't going to do much when she's flying up in the air. So probably if you're just regular uppercutting, then you can use your primary fire while you're up at her height. Then, because in this game you kind of want to take into account, so every time the game starts, you want to press tab and look, okay, what's our team comp, because that's going to dictate how we play. That's going to go, okay, like, are we
frontlining with Ryan and or a Orisa or Sig, or are we playing with our dive tanks, which we're playing dive tanks for now. You have to also have to think, okay, what supports do we have? And then on top of that, you have to look at their team comp and go, okay, how am I gonna play based off of what they're running? So because you know that they have a Junkrat, if you're playing Doomfist in the Junkrat, you want to be always looking out for traps.
This is not your time.
Like here's natural cover.
We all
Yep.
Need a doctor?
So there you use your health back and then you ran away from it. Either choose to stay on it or don't use it.
Wolf. Ah. So I should have just ran away and then used it when I was safe,
knock
in a
me
safe
down
spot.
and I'll keep
Uh,
picking back up.
That I think that spot was fine, but you could also have just run up to the high ground and used it.
This is not the end.
Get over here and heal up.
Heroes never die.
Tap fire, because his first like 6 shots are straight, and then everything after that is like spread out apart. So you're gonna be doing more if you're doing 6 shots, pause, 6 shots, pause, 6 shots, and it's gonna be straighter. Did he just what?
He just passed right by me.
This doesn't affect other heroes as much, but especially when you're playing like things like hit scan, don't jump as much as you are when you're not just getting over objects, you're just spamming it, because it does 3 things. 1, it affects your aim, it makes it harder for you to shoot because you're bobbling up and down. It also makes it easier for enemies to shoot you because your hitbox is going to be easier to track. And then on top of that, it's going to make it harder for you to move because you don't really have control over your movement when you're jumping, you're just in a set path. So
I don't know why I'm always jumping. It's a bad habit I have.
yeah, just spamming it, it's not going to be the
I'm
best.
not a young man anymore.
I'd probably say until you have insane aim, don't attempt to helix so far in the sky because it's not going to go well for you. And you're just wasting an ability. Especially, you do this with every hero, but especially on hit scan, you aim head level and it's going to make your shots much easier to hit. So you place your crosshair in good positioning to make it easiest for you to land shots. So that's going to be using your brain to help your aim.
So I need to make it easier for me instead of harder for them.
Play of the game.
Not necessarily harder for them, but you want to do it so that it's not harder for yourself. If you're aiming at their body, then you're going to be hitting body shots. If you're aiming it constantly at head level, then you're going to be hitting headshots.
Triple kill.
Okay.
So there, just as an example, would be when you're spamming the Ryan Shield, you're aiming at his feet. So if that means that Ryan Shield went down, if you decide to shoot at anybody else, you have to just up and to the left or up and to the right, or just up rather than just directly left or right. So it's going to make your shots easier and faster to land if you're already aiming at the head level.
Okay. And aim, I guess it comes with time.
Yeah, it comes with time. I'd say if you're looking to practice it, FFA would be the best place because that's where mechanics comes from. I guess I can demonstrate real quick because we only have 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm going to demonstrate just what good crosshair placement is. I know you're there.
We're all soldiers
Yeah, I'm there.
now.
So like I said before, if you're aiming right here, you're walking around like this, and you're always looking at body level, then when you come up against players, you're going to have to go up and to the left or up to the right to actually hit headshots. But if you're always aiming at this level right here, and you're walking around like this, and you're aiming at head level, then you just have to go to the left or the right, and that mitigates it. It's a shorter time, and it's going to be easier to hit that shot if you're constantly looking at head level, because then you just have to adjust
Double kill.
rather a slower amount. The other thing with that is going to be looking where you know people are going to be at. So For example, here, like we see this bot up here. So, and we're seeing they're crossing over to the other side. So when we come up here, instead of being very slow and turning slowly, going like this and looking around, we know that they're already on this side. So we're hugging this corner. We're instantly turning. So there's less time before we actually see and kill them.
So quick kills.
Yep, quick kills. So same thing is like doorways. Aim when you know people are coming around corners. You're aiming doorways and at head level. So I know they're around this corner, so I'm aiming head level roughly at this corner, and then it's very minimal adjustment for when they actually come around the corner.
Okay, I see.
So when we know, and other things like this, like when we know that that bot's dead, there's nobody on this side of the map. So we don't have to be looking over on this side of the map. We look over here, and then that means that we can immediately see everyone that we need to see. So when you know that there's not people somewhere, don't look in that spot. So you just want to make it easier on yourself by looking in the best spots.
And is there a way to find a sensitivity? Because every day I'm changing my sensitivity.
Okay, so basically, what you're gonna do, I don't know if I can, give me a second, I can maybe find you a guide on this. Basically, how this works is you can watch the video, but I'm going to do a rough kind of overview of how it works. Is you're going to go in the practice range, and you're going to just like stand here, and you're going to you're going to go on a like app or website or whatever that's going to give you a sensitivity. You're going to input like what the sensitivity is to do a normal 360 across your mouse pad or something like that, and then it's gonna give you two different sensitivities, a high and a low sensitivity, and you're gonna kind of walk it around and see, okay, do I like this sensitivity? Can I like track very well with it? And you're gonna pick which sensitivity you like better, and then it's gonna give you another two, and then another two, and it's gonna slowly up it or lower it to the one that fits you, and you can do that on like maybe like the 7th try. It takes maybe like an hour or so.
Okay. And that's in a sorry, it's past 5, but that's on a site I can find that?
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a video, like going over that. So, do you have any last questions while I'm looking for this?
Not for now. Maybe next time. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then after I get this video, we can schedule our next session if that works for you. Do you know your schedule up and coming?
I know only on the 25th and the 28th I'm not able to play much.
Okay. All right. Give me a second. Let me find this.
So you're a top 500 player.
Yes.
If I get to top 500, do you want a duel?
I sure did. I mean, I started in silver, so it wouldn't surprise me.
How long did it take for you to climb?
It took me like 2.5 seasons, which that was back when the seasons were long, so it took maybe like 7 months of regularly playing, something like that.
Holy shit, you went fast.
Wait 1 second. I think this might be it.
Must master before you can really start to.
An example after our
after
the second appointment, if I still have questions, can I ask on Discord?
Yeah, that's fine. Like even if you have questions before the session, just feel free to hit me up and I'll just like message you back.
If you haven't found
Thank you.
games before you start trying to do this on the and waiting for eliminate this.
Okay. Yeah, I found the video. I got the link real quick. So you just watch this video through and it'll explain how to use it, and the link to the thing will be in the description. Besides that, okay, so I will have notes for you in 10 to 15 minutes. And then after that, or we can probably schedule now. Okay, so I'm gonna be pretty busy here. I'm
free most of. We probably want to do this in like a week or so you can go over things we talked about.
Yeah.
1 second. Let's see. I will be free next Monday. I'll be free Tuesday, pretty much all day. Yeah, I'm pretty free most of next week. Just not Sunday. Is there a time? Do you know if there's a time or date that works for you?
Monday or Tuesday works fine.
Okay. Then let's say Monday, same time.
Know yourself.
Sure.
Face of death.
Okay. Well then, I will see you then. I'll get you notes soon. And it was nice talking to you and meeting you.
Nice talking to you too. Thank you.
Alright. No problem. I'll see you.
Bye bye.
Diva Online. Love, love, Diva. Love, Diva. Love, Diva. Love, Diva. Love, Diva. Love, Diva. Diva. I need healing. 게임은 하면 이겨야지. You bump, you bump, you bumpy, you bumpy. 오케이, 게임은 하면 이겨야지.
Try me, try me, try me, try me.
게임은 하면 이겨야지.
Shut down. Shut down.
You guys are hilarious.
Okay.
I'm here like typing up some stuff and I just hear
And you just hear
Shikanaga,
it
Shikanaga, Shikanaga, Gamanaga.
Join us!
Bro, I have to type up notes. I can do that. I can do that in queue. Okay, I'm gonna join.
Yes!
Dude, I cranked my DPI up during that.
Wait, what?
I cranked my DPI all the way up during that.
And then we need Monty. Monty wanted to play.
Yeah, Breck, you're going to healing. Go to healing now.
I'm going on
I
tank.
can't
Fuck
wait,
off.
I can't play anything but tank.
I'm sure
Oh.
you have an account that you can